They did not. Because that was my big concern. I kept looking at the window and every flat, I was like, it's my bag. I mean, Brad,
What? It's not working, right?
it's a black screen. And I just started it.
That's all there is. I can guarantee it's gonna be black screen by the time we get.
Yep, and I just started it, so. Mm-hmm. It's doing nothing. And I just turned it on. Like I came up here, oh.
I hate this thing so much.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Screen. I guarantee you we're gonna get there with a black screen.
What
You
happened
gotta
here?
do
Why
is
isn't this working? Oh. And I just set it. I didn't set it up a long time ago. I did that on purpose.
Megan, just remember at the end, I want to throw that in there.
Okay.
Ready to roll?
I'm ready.
Good afternoon, welcome to the April 13th
Whoa.
meeting of the Village of West Hampton Beach Planning Board. We're going to begin with a decision. The decision is for Firestar Holdings LLC, 14 Rogers Avenue, West Hampton Beach, New York. Anybody here for the applicant?
No.
I need a motion to waive the reading of the decision.
I make a motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll go to the agenda.
Okay, so the first application on the agenda is number 185 and 105 Montauk Highway LLC. That's held over to April 26th. The next application is number 2, West Hampton Inn LLC, 43 Main Street. That is also held over till April 26th. I guess we, actually, before we get started, the next meeting is Wednesday, April 26th. It's not Thursday, April 27th. The next application is 3 Prime Storage, 98 Depot Road. That's held over to April 26th. The next application is number 4, 55 Old Riverhead Road. That's also held over to April 26th. Next application is number 5, Firestar Holdings. We just granted the decision on that one. Next application is number 6, George Vickers. They're held over till April 26th, but we did receive the Department of Health on that. The next application is number 7, Robert Schoenthal, 22 Bayfield Lane. That's held over to May 18.
I thought it's 11 and 25.
What?
May.
Oh, yeah, yeah, May 11.
How about we go to the 25?
Okay. I'm not, that's the
I
ZBA
need
date.
a motion to hold over Robert Schoenthal, number 7, until May 25.
Make a motion.
All in favor?
The next application is number 8, First Dunes Development, 496 Dune Road, LLC.
Good afternoon. For the applicant, James Inhume, 323 Mill Road, West Hampton Beach. As you recall, when we were last here, you asked for a survey, which we submitted. So we already had the CBA determination. We explained all that last time. And the plan that we submitted on the survey matches the approvals that we have.
We've got everything squared away, the house size is set.
Yeah, the lots and the houses are set with the zoning board. For the subdivisions, we need health department, we need DEC.
And both of these are in process.
Do we have elevation?
Yes.
All right, so can we push you to the 25th?
Sure. I guess you don't need anything, you need these other approvals, I guess, is
Yeah.
what you're waiting on.
We're waiting for you now.
Okay, good. So everything else is, okay, good. Thank you.
I need a motion to hold the application over until May 25th.
Make a motion.
All in favor?
Next application is number 9, 10 Mitchell Owner LLC, 10 Mitchell Road.
Good evening, members of the board. Kevin Leahy for 10 Mitchell Owner LLC. We received a memo from Mr. Hill with a handful of items on it that we intend to have the architect address and resubmit. And we get answers for the when is the deadline?
The deadline for the April 26th meeting is April 17th.
Okay, so we'll have everything submitted by then, and hopefully we will be able to reconvene on the 26th meeting.
I need a motion to hold the application over until April 26th.
Make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The next application is number 10 Rogers Avenue Associates. They'd like to be held over until April 26th. Can I have a motion?
I make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next application, 12 Potunk Lane, 42 Stevens Lane, they're held over to April 26th. The next application, Michael Brunetti, 65 Main Street, Rocco. Can you move your microphone? Yeah, thank you. Michael Brunetti, 65 Main Street. Anybody
Make a
here?
motion, we hold the application over until May 25th.
Second.
April 26th? Or May?
May.
Oh,
May
okay.
25.
Okay.
He hasn't shown up in 3 meetings. If he doesn't show up on the 25th, he's going to need to take this off the agenda.
All right. The next application is number 13, West Hampton Property Management LLC, 141 Montauk Highway. They'd like to be held over to April 26th. Can I please have a motion?
Second.
I rescind that motion. I'd like to hold them over until May 11th. The 26th is looking like chaos. I make a motion to hold the application over until May 11th.
Second.
Okay. The next application is number 14, New York Cancer and Blood Specialists, 40 Main Street.
For the applicant?
Received a lovely letter today from the pastor, Mr. of the church. It was nice.
Oh, yeah?
I just wanted, you didn't read it?
No, I didn't get
It
it.
sure looked like you're writing.
Well, in that case, if it was good for the cause, I definitely did it. But,
I want to dispel any rumors or any kind of feelings that this board in any way is looking to inhibit this application in any way whatsoever. I think this board has done nothing but demonstrate a willingness to cooperate with any religious institution in this village.
Right.
And will bend over backwards if necessary. In the interest of the parish, we do have the interest of the school, and we do have the interest of the new tenant, as well as the responsibility to the people of West Hampton Beach to make certain that this site is safe and can handle what we're looking to do with the
You have information since the last time, which I'd like to go over in I've received both.
Do those reflect in any way on what you're about to
We're context, what they were actually said, what I think they actually said, and then we'll have a discussion over what that actually means. So, as you know, as you just said, we're here for site plan approval to change, modification to change the use of the barbecue building for use by the New York Cancer Blood Center. Because this is residentially zoned, as you also know, we're in front of the zoning board. We've advanced far enough with the zoning board, not that they've said that they are going to approve or deny it, but they're looking for some feedback from you all as to whether in general at least, whether this plan will work or won't work, so that we can continue the process with them. As you requested the last time, we provided, I think, 3 different things. We provided a narrative as to the current use of the property, and as well as our proposed use, we provided kind of a parking study, which we'll describe in more detail later on tonight, and we provided an updated parking plan, which was also submitted. Now, first, let me turn to the narrative. Excuse me. Again, our particular proposed use, our operation, the expectations from our operations is that they'll see between 40 and 45 patients a day. It will be an 8-hour day. It will run Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:45. In addition to the patients, there will be 8 healthcare professionals on site. And so that really characterizes our use and on a daily basis. They have approximately 100 students per day, Monday through Friday. The 21 employees. The staff typically arrives between around 7 a.m. and departs around 3:30. So that is the church's operation, and there are a number of things that go on at the church that don't compete with our time, and a couple of lesser uses. A Bible study that the use is kind of minor in comparison to the other uses that do take place at the same time as our proposed use. So here, I think, has to do with the ability of the parking to handle the 2 concurrent uses. The school, the majority of the church use is outside the scope of our operations, and as we'll talk in a little bit, the parking that we've allocated to the church's concurrent uses are adequately provided for in this plan, but we'll discuss that more in detail. The other thing that we the parking plan itself, which I think you already have this, but in case it's not right in front of you, this is the actually, if you could pass it down for me, please.
They don't end up with much playground left, do they? Back there in the back.
And so the first thing which we already had established was we're going to disconnect the during the time of COVID, as well as during the time of the renovation of Main Street. The village actually provided a driveway around the Beinecke building, so if you build a parking lot for the church and other uses. But it seems that the school use in the back versus all the other uses in the front, and so that roadway. In addition, we're proposing to actually build 25 of the 54 land bank spots, and we've shown that in the location on the map. In the rear, all of which will be dedicated to the use of the school. As indicated in the narrative, there's approximately 21 teachers, and they're the ones that are doing the bulk of the parking. The elementary and preschool kids, I don't believe, are parking in the lot. Their parents are dropping them off and departing. So that leaves 71 spots in the front. none of which will be dedicated to the use of the school. That based on the size of the building that we're going to operate, the code requires 48 spots for our particular use, which are identified in purple. And after you apply the 48 to our use, there is an additional 23 spots which can be used for overflow from our use, which may or may will not likely occur, but will also be able to accommodate the church uses that are concurrent with our uses. And so that's the overall scheme of things. We also provided a couple of snapshots of what the parking situation looks like now on a daily basis. And I'm going to have Herb Israel come up and explain some of the details of that, because I know that was one of the questions that Mr. Hill had as to the meaning of all of that.
How are you guys? Herbert Israel, New York Cancer. So when it came to the question of segregating the church use, the daycare use from our proposed use that we're trying to accomplish here, we figured that by doing a minor parking study of taking some of our employees, putting them there for 2 days, right, because we're trying to go quickly here, we were able to really determine kind of what that drop-off time looks like of 100 kids coming in, 100 kids getting picked up, as well as how many people park there, and then obviously the employee load and kind of how they come in and stagger. So I know in the planner's comments, she mentioned maybe moving this parking lot to the front rather than the back where we've proposed it. We don't really think that that's great because, again, the employees are coming in before the kids and then they're leaving. And the kids aren't outside actually playing at that time. They're going into the school building to actually have their classes. So based on that very simple parking study we did, we figured the 25 spots in the back here would be good for the employees. It would totally segregate them from the front use. And it would also allow kind of a little bit of an easier way, other than that tight cul-de-sac, for the people dropping off once they drop off their children to turn around and exit, right, with allowing them still to stack up or have a stacking lane. For us, we feel, again, if we're gonna have 8 employees that are coming in, and then you'll also see we gave you a updated interior plan. There was a lot of concern between zoning and you guys as well about how many exam rooms we had in the facility. We lowered those, we increased 1 or 2 rooms.
Place is more of a very specialty core.
Quintessential safe haven. We feel that by picking the land bank area where we did, it minimized reducing the playground for the actual students, so they still have an outside place. It really used up this little garden space and green space they already had, and it mimics the approved site plan that you guys had from years ago where that land bank parking was. And as time goes, have the land bank built out if it truly needed to happen. So that was kind of our idea of why we chose that area. It's really not transient parking.
Hey, Jim, what's the summer schedule for the school?
They don't meet in the summer, I've been told.
So do they have a summer program there that we should be considering? Respite during the summer. if you will.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'll find out, but it's,
Yeah, let's get that nailed down and find out how last year's campers were there and what the process prospects are for this year's campers.
And it's, I mean, I haven't talked to the church about this, but it's possible that this use is so important to their.
We're not
Becomes
asking
an
you to do
issue.
that, we just need the numbers, that's
Okay.
all.
Okay, so we will provide that.
We don't want to discourage any revenue flows.
Appreciate that. So I think in summary on this this parking plan, at any given moment, based on what I believe more than sufficient for these uses. In the middle of Wednesday afternoon, there's plenty of parking for the teachers in the school. There's plenty of parking for the people using our facility, and then there's anybody else. And the other point I wanted to make about the parking study, it was taken on the hours indicated on 2 different days. On I believe are the days, and it looked at the was in the on both days. So to the extent that that's representative of the parking that goes on there, which I think it is, that parking, some of which was probably teachers, some of it was probably staff, spots that we have reserved in the front for any conflicting parking. So I think that only supports the conclusion that at least we've reached, that this plan will accommodate all of the parking that may occur at any given time. And the other thing to banked parking, and so if we're really, we don't think we're wrong, but if we're really off base, then there's another safety
Can we have a
valve.
mechanism in the decision?
There is, yes.
I believe that's standing from back when it was approved in 2013.
So that if we can ask, I don't know who we're asking,
I
asking
think
the
the
parish?
trustees
asking
are,
the-
I think the trustees are the ones that pull the trigger on that. But I think that's case, but I know with certainty that there was a mechanism built into that last site plan
Well,
approval.
we may ask our attorney to put that into
Makes sense.
the document that we provide you at some point.
Will this get hooked into the the sewer system, the new sewer?
No.
No.
Church is not.
No, in fact, we're in the health department to get an approval for a new septic system for this particular use.
Boy, you guys must be loaded.
The only thing we need is a secret determination. So the town will give us approval on that.
So that's certainly a step forward.
Yes.
Step-
Action, but because there's a use variance involved, it kicks out of that, it would have to be an unlisted action. Typically, the planning board is the clearinghouse for secret, and since so much of the discussion has been about the impacts.
So I provide a secret determination
But you have
expeditiously.
to declare lead agency for the zoning board. It's really just you, the zoning board, and Department of Development.
Can we declare lead agency this evening? And then provide secret at the next meeting?
We can, and then if you don't wish to coordinate, we can. I don't know that coordination makes a lot of sense.
I don't think it's necessary.
Because you're already having dialogue with the zoning board.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary, right? So we can kick you down the street.
Yeah. The memos themselves, the planner, Britton, actually put back in your laps the determination, which is where it should be, the determination of whether what we're proposing parking-wise is sufficient. She did talk about flipping the parking with the playground. That seems an extra expense that's unnecessary. The playground is next to the school. If we flip it to the other side, then they're crossing the parking lot to get to the playground.
Right, we want to avoid that.
Yeah, so I think that that's probably not something we want to do.
Mr. Hill, do you have?
I'd like them to do a narrative for the parking study, because I think we need that right now. It's dated, but it's not backed up with
you can provide a narrative.
Explaining how the study goes on, where people position. Now, it's in my memo that you got.
Yes.
The other thing is, we probably should get a letter from the school that says exactly what they do. How many students, how many staff.
I think we pretty much,
I think this
Or
came
like
from
that.
whoever's in charge over there provided us with this information.
Well, yeah, first they say there's no state, summer program, but.
well, I mean, it was my question that provoked that, so.
Yeah, but
And-
I've got two different answers.
Oh.
I'd like to see something from the school.
I agree, and we asked for that.
Yes, so we'll definitely provide that too. But I think as far as the September to June use, I think that's detailed in the narrative that we
Yeah, I agree.
I don't
provided.
expect we'll find something in the summer program. that-
No, but we need the numbers.
Yeah.
So we can certainly. I think that was really the gist of Ron's comments. The one thing I did want to highlight is he thought 25 spots in the back was sufficient, I think is what you
I
said.
said it looks like it, depending what I find out from the narrative, but I see some numbers where if you look at the drop-offs and you look at the, this staff parking number goes over 40. Look at what's going on here, more carefully.
So we need a good narrative.
Okay.
Need a little creative writing.
We can do that. We'll get the pastor to do it, I guess.
Yeah, he did a good job. Did you see the pastor's letter?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
I mean, short of the funding plea,
yeah, I think.
I mean,
think
the
we-
narrative he gave was good.
Parking, it looks like maybe we can work something out. If that does, and the CPA agrees, then we're gonna have to develop the site plan. Because, you know, there's scanning, there's drainage, there's other things that go in lighting, there's other things that go along with this. In fact, with respect to lighting, we gotta look at the whole site, because the site plan triggers the village code. We may want some landscaping in front of the parking, in front of the place, you know, there's things for the planning board to do, once as long as it's done. And
Well, can we kick this application to the ZBA?
once we get the narrative, we're all
Okay.
comfortable with the parking, yeah, definitely.
Okay. So I guess the result of this is,
Well, we have one of the
Oh, okay.
representatives from the Blood Center who would like to speak for a moment.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for letting me say a few words.
please say your name again.
Sure, my name is Neil Foley. I'm a Senior Vice President at New York Cancer. I've worked there almost 5 years, and I've been part of the growth. The key, the message I want to bring to you tonight is, I know this village very well. My wife and I rent a house here every year. We actually plan to retire here in 7 years. We currently live in Blue Point. And when New York Cancer comes into a community or a village, we just don't open the doors and close doors every day. We become part of the community. 2 weeks ago, we just opened up a hospital with Sloan Kettering in Brooklyn. And the reason I bring that up to you is what we like to do is become part of this community. Get involved with the chamber, civic, town. Part of the reason I'm here is we hear you. We hear your issues with parking. We will address them with lighting, landscaping. We want to truly become a part of this community, and that's and not just for 5 years, 10 years. And the other part is we talk to the 5 boroughs, to Newburgh, New York. We pick spots that we feel need some more medical attention. If you go through the journey of cancer, which is not easy, ladies and gentlemen, the good old days, we'd have to go into Manhattan or maybe Nassau County. You don't have to do that anymore. You can go through this journey at home, and that's what we want to be. We want to be part of this community and make sure that we can treat people that live in this village for many, many years and decades. So I work for the company. If you have any questions for me, I can answer them, but I just want to say thank you very much for giving me a couple of minutes to address this board.
Thank you for your comments, sir.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else?
He did remind me of one other thing I wanted to say. The chairman indicated last time we were here that he didn't necessarily believe that this was the kind of use that should be on Main Street.
Aren't you lucky he's not here today?
Yes, but I did want to respond to that, and if we were one lot to the east, this would very likely be at least a special exception permitted use, if not a permitted use. So the village code does in fact provide for these kinds of things in this general location. So
Well, maybe we can get the chairman to take off additional time in the future.
that's fine. That's fine. And so the only other thing I wanted to ask is that we are in front of the zoning board next week. And I know we're probably a little bit away from, maybe a long way from approving something. And there's some details, but I think that really they're just looking for an indication that you guys think we might keep them moving forward.
Well, I think we'll do what we normally do, which is kick the ball, okay? And I think we have no objection, and we don't currently see any impediments. I don't think we're going to go more than that as far as
Of course, we will bring that to the zoning board and we'll continue to move forward.
Can we do a letter to the ZBA?
Yep. So you just want to offer no objection?
No objection, and we see no impediments currently.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Or do you want, didn't we say a little bit ago that once we get the parking narrative, we can do that? Or are we waiting on that, or are we sending it tomorrow for next week?
Let's send it to next week so that they have, we don't have to do the impediment part. We have no objection. That keeps it neutral enough where we're not committing ourselves.
Okay.
Well, thank you. And I guess we've.
See you on the 26th.
26th, yeah.
Need a motion to hold the application over until April 26th.
Make a motion?
Oops, you wanted to do something with secret as well.
Well, all we can do as far as the secret goes is take lead agency tonight and then provide secret at the next meeting, right?
Yeah, I don't
mean,
think,
that would be the correct program.
Yes.
it would probably be conditional depending on where we are with these questions.
Right.
We want to give the planner a minute to.
And we want to give you time to get the narrative that's vital at this point.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you.
So once again, motion to hold the application over until April 26th.
Make a motion?
Sorry. All in favor?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next application is number 15, SKL Realty Holdings LLC, 115 Main Street.
Good evening again, members of the by the management team and chef of Daphne's Restaurant at the location there. When we were here last, we were asked to make a couple changes to the site plan. One was to remove the request for the sheds in the rear, which we've done, and we resubmitted. And we also, in lieu of the grass that we proposed on the back of the patio, we are going to do unilock pavers in the same color to match the village's choice for roundabout by out in front of Salt and Loft up there. So we match everything uniformly. That was all submitted to Mr. Hill and to the village last week, so everything should be in order.
You plan to put another shed in?
We do not. Well,
Do you
if
need-
we certainly need additional storage, and to the extent you guys decide to have a discussion about how to resolve the storage issue for everyone that has sheds in the back, to resolve that, so maybe we come up with a minimum or maximum size or a uniform style or something like that they've done in other municipalities, and if we could do that and hide it from street view, it would benefit us greatly, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nobody else on that team has anything to say? You saw what you saw, right? We eliminated those storage, and the paver changes are acceptable. We're good with that. So, yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
much better.
So do we see any reason not to have a decision at the next meeting? Okay. So we're gonna hold you over until the 26th in anticipation of a decision.
Great.
Thank you very much.
While they're here, do you guys just want to skip through the agenda and do their, they have two Burger and Caffeine Cafe for the outdoor music chairs.
Okay, so we need to send a note to the trustees saying that.
Well, you have to look at it first, but.
Do we
they're
have it?
asking for, yeah, they have it, you guys should have it, they're asking for 4 tables, 26 chairs, with lights and the sunshade and no outdoor music.
What's their,
Well, there was nothing in the rear patio because it was the septic field. So we've also now connected to the sewer system. That's all been completed this past week.
I thought you were talking about inside the store.
No, this is outside.
You'll look. Did you get this?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Let's see, yeah, Michael got it.
On your thing, you don't have music, so if we don't want music, we're not gonna have, it's an issue with music, you're not gonna have music playing.
We do want music,
Well,
and I
we
think
don't-
we had checked off live music as well.
We don't have music installed out there, but we would like to have, at the very least, some ambient music, maybe through Sonos or something like that, but it would be background. And then if possible, we'd like to apply to people to live music whenever, a few nights a week in season.
So right now, live music is not on the table, but you wanna be able to have a speaker playing music.
Yes. and
Tables
we
and
apply-
chairs is what we've got checked here.
Yeah.
No outdoor music.
I thought we did, we had it last year.
Yeah, right here. You don't know.
Are we able to amend that? Would that be an
That
issue?
application is to the clerk, so I believe there was a speaker in the front area.
Yes.
Correct, yeah.
Approved.
I don't think, well, this is kind of a new application, so 2 things. So we're at 28 seats, so for use. So they have this common shared area in the front, and then they have this area in the back, which now they can use. That's pretty much what we're talking about. We just have to make sure with the trustees that they are aware of the music situation. It's different, it's the same as last year, I don't think we have to address it. It's different from last year, that we have to get that spelled out for the trustees.
Would it be to answer with a no objection to music, and I'll get it over to the to the clerk tomorrow for her to resubmit?
So, yeah,
Or
that's.
approve it as,
Send a no objection back, but I'm gonna have to delineate the exact number of tables.
Great, you got it.
The exact number of chairs, and the type of music you want. So if it's just a Sonos speaker for now, that's what we're gonna call it, we need to know where it's gonna be.
okay.
I just need to know where the Sonos speaker is.
I have a question. Everything goes back to the application. Talk about lighting.
It's, there's string lights on shown on the drawing.
Okay.
Yeah, just string lights from a 120 outlet. No, we're not installing, no.
Okay.
They have to be, there's a maximum wattage for.
For each outlet,
Sky
yep.
compliance.
You're familiar with the dark sky compliance, right?
Yes.
So again, I guess we have no objection to the seating and to the now music as well.
So we have no objection to 4 tables, 26 chairs, lights, a sunshade, and 1 Sonos speaker in the back or the front?
The front already has built-in speakers, so it'll be 1 Sonos speaker in the rear. And I will, if you want, I'll reprint that out. I'll add an image to it, and I'll add language that says a speaker, and I'll bring it to you in the morning.
That's got to be extended.
Those bar seats were, it's new because the bar seats were never.
The 4 tables and the 26 chairs and 2 bar seats, or that's on the
No.
Caffeine Cafe?
What you just,
And that's caffeine or no?
Yeah, it's on this latest plan.
Okay.
Just so I know, what is the process for live music? Is it a fully separate application? And is it for each time it's being requested? Or?
No, you should just apply for it once with this, and if you guys know you're only gonna do it on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays, put it on there. We don't need to know who's gonna be, just say 1, 2 people singing, and put the hours. You have to follow the same code. I think it's 11 o'clock, no DJ.
Karaoke Tuesday nights. There's no objection, then I'll add that to what I bring to you in the morning.
at their
I just want to make sure I'm clear. Okay. And then the
Six top picnic tables.
okay. Application for LT Burger West. Okay. And then I need a motion to refer.
Oh, it's two separate things? I'm sorry, I thought it was.
Motion to refer the Caffeine Cafe.
So we have a holdover until April 26th in anticipation of a decision
For the other
for the
application.
other application.
Okay. The next application. 12C. Old Riverhead Road.
And Hume 3. Of things. Elevations, floor plans, site plan pack. You can throw off of these copies.
Sounds good.
The trustee alteration with the change of the entrance onto Depot Road. Two issues from our perspective is, one is an ARB referral. Do that. And the other, I guess, we need to, I guess maybe I need to talk to Tony about the park fee that is due here. But I just wanted to make sure there weren't any other comments on what we submitted.
Brad, do you see any reason why we can't refer them?
We referred it to the county planning.
Anybody have any comments?
Yeah, but law.
Yes.
Anything out of that whole thing?
He's kind of wrote on the property line there. We moved the couple of expansion leaching pools for the STP out of that area. I left that to remain natural. Not gonna touch it. Those trees will stay there as they are now, and just kind of avoid any work on our project.
I mean, that's not to say the site could be cleaned up a little if there's some other kind of underprice that you guys want to remove, but.
Possibly, but we tried to just
Yeah.
leave that alone, and
Okay.
I refocused some additional landscaping kind of around that corner by the STP. We added a little bit there. We added some landscaping down by the corner. by
Might be a
the
nice revenue
building.
source. To the fence around,
Yep.
coin out gate.
Yep. But other than that, yeah, no, we avoided that whole area to not have to deal with that.
But you will take every effort to ensure that they're safe.
Of course.
What about the expansion field? That doesn't enforce, does it?
No, we moved it and shifted it out of the way.
So this drawing's not current, right?
Hey, Megan, we got any of those?
Let me see.
I must have knocked it off. These ones.
No, yeah, because
These were actually. This one.
I don't have any
This is the
more.
current drawing, yeah, 'cause
I
these
think they
trees
only
are-
gave us one or two.
Okay.
maybe we can get some credit towards the park fee for preserving that piece of history. But we'll see.
That's slick. That's slick. We may, maybe a little additional landscaping, consistent care, watering and feeding those. I mean, they've done so well so far. So I need a motion to refer this application to the Architectural Review Board.
Make a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And, I guess May 11th, huh?
Okay.
I need a motion to hold the application over until May 11th.
Make a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Good to see you all.
The next application is the first one in our new applications, West Hampton Country Club, 35 Oaktown Lane.
Good afternoon. Kutcher Wells, 54 Montauk Highway, Quogue, New York, for the applicant. We are here to request a site plan modification to allow for reconstruction of the staff housing that was previously demolished with permission of the ZBA. And we have a companion ZBA application before them. Well, we haven't been heard yet. We haven't had our first hearing yet, but it'll be next week, I believe. And so we are looking to relocate the new staff housing and to, in order to accommodate that, to move a couple of the sports field facilities. I think I have a little aerial photo that I wanted to give you just to show you where we are.
Oh, yeah, no.
So you can see the circle and X. That was the prior staff housing that has now been demolished. And where the open field is with the circle around it, that's the approximate area of where, I mean, the survey obviously gives you the more specific meets and bounds, but to give you a visual to show that, you know, we're across the street from St. Mark's, from, you know, that whole bright spot thing. And this is going to be staff housing. The previous staff housing was for 18, accommodated 18, and this is again for 18 people. We need to get ZBA approval because the building is larger than the building that was taken down due to changes in code, the ADA Act, a lot of different reasons why. But so we're also going before them. But it was suggested to us that you might want to be lead agency for SEQRA. So, and of course we need to be here anyway. So here we are.
We're gonna wind up lead agency no matter what happens.
Yes.
It's an unlisted action.
Makes the flow a lot nicer for the flow, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's a tight area to pull through there, you know, where
Yes.
that building is now.
Yes.
It just is tight.
Yes. And parking isn't really an issue for us.
Yeah, you pull in there, it's, you know, you're right on top of that building coming in.
Right.
You know, getting that out of there would be a lot nicer for the flow. No doubt.
Now, that building's gone now, right? You cleared that site?
The old staff housing building? Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir. The one that has the X through it?
Yeah.
It's gone. And the certificate of compliance is attached to
The application.
Exhibit 3. It's the last one in the back of Exhibit 3, last page of Exhibit 3.
That newer two-story house that was constructed, is that staff housing? The one that's, I guess, going towards the pickleball court?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah.
That's also staff housing. The club provides housing for, I understand, 51 people right now, of which 18 will go into this new building to replace the 18 beds that were demolished.
You got them in tents until this gets approved, right?
I don't know if you have questions for me, or?
I guess we have to rely on our experts at this point.
I haven't seen this yet.
We're gonna need a little time to review it, needless
Oh, of
to say,
course.
and our planner isn't here, our attorney isn't here.
Oh, I
Our
understand that.
chairman isn't here.
It goes
You mean-
to the zoning board anyway, so we have to open up the hearing, that would be at least 2 months.
Yeah. All right.
There's not gonna be any separate parking.
Pardon me?
There's not gonna be any separate parking facilities right by the,
You mean, do they plan to install new parking in addition to what's already there? No, sir. There is a long parking strip that's right next to where they're going to build, or would like to build.
isn't that, you mean along Potomac where the people park for the athletic fields? or-
Yes.
Yes, but they've enlarged it, right?
Yes, it's been extended, but is that the intention to use that? It's gonna,
I don't think we're talking about adding any parking. You've already got the 18 people covered on the previous building, so we're not really looking to increase the volume in any way.
They're just walking over from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of them don't have cars anyway, I'm told.
Yeah.
Just thought of something, sorry. Speaking of that parking with the sport courts, there's a canopy there, I guess you're gonna be using that here on out?
That's for the next to pickleball courts.
Yeah,
Yes.
we should throw that on this survey, because it wasn't on the previous one, that was already approved. I don't think it bothers anybody, but we just did a site plan, and that was a canopy that's not on that site plan, so let's get it on this one.
Okay, thank you so much.
So, where do we go? Yes, please.
My name is Scott Mitchell, 80 Potunk Lane. I'm a neighbor of the country club. I'm at the corner of Hanson and Potunk, big white house there. I don't believe it's going to visually impact me that much. It's down the road a little bit. I just have a couple of questions about the project. First off, when you circled it, is this going to take up a baseball field too?
Yes, sir, that's gonna be moved also. You see all this open space, they're moving in that direction
Oh,
for
Yeah.
athletic facilities.
Okay, not toward, yeah, because the pickleball court and the basketball court, I didn't know they were going in. I came home late and I never got the certified mail. And it was sent out like a week before the hearing, which is kinda, I don't know how that happened, but that's why I couldn't make the meeting and have any input on that. So I was just.
Which meeting, for CBA?
Well, whatever the meeting was to, about the little playground you got there with the tennis ball.
Not this one.
Yeah, no, not that.
I'm
The one,
sorry.
you know, 'cause that might have had something to say about it, because I'm hearing the dribble in the morning, and, you know, tennis. You know, early in the morning, but that's a done deal. I know it's gotta apply to the night lighting initiative. There's gonna be there's already gonna be a lot of lights on the building, like porch lights, that I might see from my property. And if there are, would it be blocked by landscaping?
Well, you may see the lights, but I can assure you they'll be dark sky compliant.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know that's
And
gonna
I
be-
don't think these people are looking to highlight this building, so I don't expect there
It
to
should
be
be like
any problems.
mimicking the old building that's right
Yeah.
next door.
It'd
I mean,
actually be an
basically, and that thing is
improvement.
very low key.
You mean the Aldrich, the old
Yeah.
Aldrich building?
The one right next to it.
Yeah, I think, yeah, one's just off to it. Yeah, I'm just concerned, like, when I sit out my front porch, I don't like seeing a lot of light. I just like feeling like I got that feeling I'm the only person in the village, again, like I did growing up.
Well, I think you're fortunate in that you now have Justin's next door, whose lighting plan
Yeah.
is gonna be far more compliant
Than the bank was.
than the
Yeah.
bank would ever be. You've got the new building in back of you and towards your backyard. I don't know what kind of backyard you have, but that building is dark sky compliant, and one by one, I mean, sooner or later,
I know, it's progress.
everybody in the neighborhood comes before this board, and the very first thing we discuss is dark sky
Lighting.
lighting. So I think you're an improving environment.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, I agree.
And I will
Especially
say,
with the bank.
my experience with the country club is that, everything we've asked them to do, they do.
Good
And they actually go the extra mile when it comes
I-
to code compliance. So I think you're in a comfortable position.
Just a few questions, that's all, just so I
Well,
feel like I
happy
sleep
to
at night
receive
going,
them.
oh my God, more progress. Yeah,
You
I'm
ain't
only
seen
just-
nothing yet.
So, any plans for future expansion on that
I
might
beg your pardon?
possibly?
There's, club manager is right there, if you wanted to talk to him about it.
Yeah, we can talk afterwards. We have a,
Absolutely.
10-year plans, 15-year plans, but nothing too, major
And I can just confirm with them that, there's not any plans for any exterior landscape lighting, just be normal, like porch lighting. And of course, it will be dark sky compliant.
Okay, cool. The reason I'm asking that is because a lot of people have been moving into the area, to get away from that, actually leave like overnight, porch lighting on. It may not be that bright, but it's one of those points for me that kind of bugs me a little bit. So I just wanted to ask on that. And pickleball, let's see, boom, 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 boom. Let's see, overnight lighting. Is this gonna be like full house all year round or just?
No, sir, it's seasonal.
That's what I thought. And you're not selling the B&B?
No.
You must be thinking of a different club.
Oh, so everyone in the B&B kind of moved over to?
The B&B will still be there.
Okay.
And these are,
Owned by you, I mean.
Yeah,
owned
owned by us, right.
Okay, so you'll still have people there?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because they're good neighbors.
They're very good neighbors.
I'm afraid who might move in that house might not.
We have a couple people that lived on the property for, one manager outside's been there for 32 years.
Oh, cool, all
And
right.
we have another chef who's been there on the property for over 26 years. So these are all professional staff.
Okay.
We're not just.
Well, I'm just worried about getting a new neighbor who might complain about certain noises coming from my property.
And I'll be more than happy to, if you like, share the 4 pages of house rules that we give out to all.
That I don't care, I mean, no, it's not even that, I'm just afraid about the new owner coming from the city, he's looking for peace and quiet, and then I might disturb that. I don't know if I'm kind of the guy across the street who makes a lot of noise.
We can take care of that for you.
So that's good, okay, and they're very nice, they're very good people. That's it, I think.
Well, we're grateful that you attended the meeting, and we're always interested in
Hey,
hearing
come to you,
any
something
comments.
nervous. Well, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, all right.
Couple of things, I'm not sure the site plan covers it. Moving the ball field, and that should show on the site plan where the ball field is going. The other thing is you're taking down the old house, what's gonna be, is anything going there, and it should be part of the site plan.
Well,
So we can see what,
the area that is proposed, if you look at the site plan on the page, the first page shows what area is going to be disturbed. We're not disturbing anything down below where the house that was removed, because that's long gone. That's already gone.
what is it? Is it grass? Is it, how we use it?
I believe it's got temporary paving over it.
Yeah, we just parked some golf carts in there now. Nothing's really there.
Is it impervious surface? Needs drainage. See, we've done you took the house down, but you're doing something there. It's not a big deal, but it should be part of the site plan. so they can clean up everything. You know, like the ball field, the infield, and put this clean up or whatever. Put it all in the site plan. The site plan should also include that, what's going on when the house is taken down. If you're using it for something.
So I guess the takeaway at this point is we need a couple of revisions to your site plan so that we see everything that we're proposing. We've got a canopy of some sort, the relocation of the ball field, the current usage of the site that's been demolished.
One more, any pathway, guys, are you putting any sidewalks? Or is, I would assume you're gonna have some kind of pathway. Whatever it's gonna be.
So walkways going from the proposed building into the work area, if you will. If that's not gonna be lawn, we need a description of what it is gonna be. Try to make that as simple as possible on yourselves by giving it a porous surface, and so we can avoid the drainage calculation. And then wherever you can put something that doesn't require drainage, that's always a smart move. Just saying, no offense meant.
So
All right, so how are we proceeding with this application?
I'm sorry?
How are we proceeding?
Well, they still have to go to the zoning board, so it's not a major rush, and maybe just come back in a month after the zoning board.
You okay with that?
Sure.
So we'll,
511?
I thought
They
25.
go to the zoning board next week, so I think they can come back on May 11th.
Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you so
And
much.
you'll have whatever we've asked for completed before then.
Certainly.
10 days before then, actually.
So 551. Okay, if I can't, if the engineers or architects can't do it by 5/1, I'll let Megan know and to adjourn it to the next one after that. All right.
All right, so make a motion, we hold the application open until April 26th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Lots of good luck.
We just need a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make
Oh,
mo-
no, I'm sorry. No. Brad had one more thing.
Okay. Who are you?
Totally forgot about that, and I wrote it down.
Good evening, my name is Ralph Montefusco. Yeah, Ralph, yeah. I'm working at the Bath and Tennis Hotel. It's unit 611. We're looking to change the access of the unit. It's in the back of a staircase. We're looking to put it in the front of the building.
There, Bath and Tennis should come down the bridge. As soon as you go by it, there are a bunch of doors on the first floor, dwelling units on Dune Road.
Okay.
This last unit before the shared corridor exit, for whatever reason, this guy's only entrance in and out of his unit is through a corridor. He didn't have the door facing on the
He didn't want to pay for it at the time. Everybody else did it, and he says, I don't want to pay for it. It's very strange. It's like in the back, so he just sold it, and the new owner's like, I don't want to walk into the back of the,
Stairwell.
Yeah, it's kind of like, so he wants a front access.
I don't think you would even notice it. They have to match everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be exactly matched,
But
yeah.
it's touching the outside of the building, and it's a change.
Okay.
And obviously, the rudimentary picture here, but they gotta run a little sidewalk.
Yeah, a little sidewalk. It's about five.
Instead of 10 doors with sidewalks, there's gonna be 11.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They all blend right in.
It'll blend right in. Yeah, we're gonna duplicate the same exact thing. Oh, thank you.
But we kinda rushed this on, cause I know next meeting is gonna be busy, and see the final.
So what are you looking for from us?
It's a waiver of site plan, if you're able to, if you wanna verbally do it, we would be done with this.
Okay.
All right.
I make a motion, we waive the site plan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Done.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good night.
Okay.
Have a good summer.
Thank you.
All right, so the motion.
I make a motion, we close the meeting. Before we get in trouble.
Second.
Before we get in any more trouble.
Only second I got in all night.
Ah.